Hello there and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. My name is Gidster, and in today's episode, I want to build a cliff. So here's the idea. In order to reach that high in the air to where the castle is, because I don't want it to be completely floating, I am going to build a mountain here. So in order to jump up to that kind of distance, I think I'm going to build a cliff that's just like right in front of us, right here, that spans all the way from the edge of this hill here all the way over to the edge of the island that way. And I think I want it to be about 10 blocks or so high. So that's going to be, instead of having these hills where they slowly go up one block, there's going to be about a 10 block jump right here. And I think that's going to look good. I'm going to grab some dirt and I'm going to create a bit of a wireframe again to see how exactly tall we want this and how it'll look like. Fun fact, I upgraded the sniffer farm. Here it is. There's a lot of sniffers. Let's go. Okay, so here's like a wireframe of it, and I like it. It looks great. This floor right here is gonna go up to this next level here, which is 74, and then it's just gonna extend out straight to the bottom of there. And this is actually 12 blocks on this side, and I actually brought it down and then brought it back up, and so it's not like completely just, I don't want it a straight line, which I think I've done before in some of my cliffs, but I like this one so that it's gonna be a little bit up and down, a little bit wavy. All right, so I think it's time I just go and gather some materials. It's gonna be made out of, I think, 6 different materials. So let's get started gathering. I figure if I get 1 shulker box of every kind of item that I need, I think that's gonna be enough. And we'll see, we'll see how much it lasts me, but I'm gonna start with that. So I'm gonna need light gray wool and dark gray wool, and I think if I can just dye this instead of getting a sheep, it'll be faster. Since I already have a really efficient flower farm for dyes, I think it'll just be faster if I just dye this white wool instead. All right, easy enough. 1 shulker box light gray, 1 shulker box of gray. Let's go, let's move on. Next, I'll need a box of basalt, and that's gonna be super easy. I just need to sit here and mine for a while. All right, about 20 minutes later, I got a box of basalt. Let's go. Time for stone. I know I have some like just left over from all the builds from like this stuff and everything, and I just have them somewhere in these shulker boxes, which is kind of a problem, but I'll find some here and there, you know? I'm going to actually convert all of this sand and gravel into light gray concrete powder. All right, it's taken about an hour. Got a box of light gray concrete powder, light gray wool, stone, basalt, and then gray wool. And I think it's gonna come together quite well. I don't know how much this is gonna last me. I'm thinking probably to the edge to where those farms are. I'm not sure. Let's find out how many blocks this is gonna take. I actually forgot I also need acacia, so here's some footage of me chopping some acacia trees. I've built all the way up like to this section here. This section right here in the middle, like this right here, I'm trying to figure out how I want this pathway. I want to have a pathway that goes up here. And I think what my idea is if I just kind of like stack a bunch of dirt, almost as if like whoever lived here like just created a bunch of dirt piles so that they could go up there. And there was no original pathway, but they've made one, you know, to try and be able to get up on top of the cliff. But yeah, that's cool. Back to grinding. Egg. The cliff has been finished. It looks great. I love it a lot. It kind of just ends here. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do on that side. We'll deal with that later. But yeah, it's looking great. I love it a lot. It's a little bit inspired by Elden Ring, the cliffs that are in Elden Ring. I saw some screenshots from that and I really liked the way that it looked. And yeah, it's a kind of a different style of cliff than I've done before, and it really looks good. I love it a lot. Here it is up close. I think maybe it should be like slightly like the texture should blend a little bit more, but it's a lot of work. Also, I started with doing the concrete powder on top first, but then I swapped to do concrete and then wool on the top. Random fact, but yeah. All right, so I kind of have some good and bad news for myself, I guess, but so I have an idea and I want to get y'all's input before I do it, because I don't like tearing things down that I built in the past, if that makes sense. Updating things is not my style. I'd rather build anew and keep the old stuff and show that I built it, but this mountain has bothered me ever since I built it, if that makes sense. It's just like, it's in the way. It doesn't match, and it was the first thing that like I built in the area. I want to get rid of it, and I want to make, you see this blue line of wool? I want to make that a river, and I think it's going to look a lot better, which that involves tearing this down, and I think I'm okay with it. I think I'm going to do it, but if you guys have any strong opinions about not doing it, well then, I suppose I will, but I think for the sake of making this area look better, I'm gonna get rid of the mountain and just make this a river. I think that's gonna look incredible. Also, I'm not done with the episode yet. I got 2 more things I gotta do. I gotta first make this little hill here, and then I got a pretty cool looking build that I have an idea for. But first things first, I'm gonna pile a bunch of dirt up here, and then so that way I can create this pathway that goes all the way to the top. Let's do that real quick. Ta-da! Now we have a hill. This tiny hill that's actually really not that big. It took a lot longer than I expected, to be honest. I think just kind of getting the proper shape in the first place like took me a while. I also went ahead and I filled out all the snow all the way to over there, so this didn't take that long, but it did take a solid amount. But check this out, the muddy mangrove roots and the soul sand from a distance, they kind of are the same color. They're like a dark brown color. And so I just like piled up snow on the side so it doesn't have like a weird like just dirt sitting on top of snow look. And then I transitioned into this coarse dirt with this oak wood. Actually looks really good, I think. They kind of have that same brownish texture. So from a distance, it's kind of the same textures, but up close, you know, you get a little bit of a variation once you see it. As far as what goes up on this platform from here, I'm not sure. I have a bit of an idea. Obviously, I have the idea of like the waterfall coming down, so I'm thinking maybe like a lake on that side, but I don't know. I'll figure out what I want to put up here, and then it's just going to extend and maybe have a large mountain there. I don't know. Still, we're still in the process of figuring these things out. Next, I have an idea for a pretty cool looking building, and I want to put it right up here, and that means I have to move this little makeshift sheep farm that I made, but I don't know if this style is actually going to fit the area. I kind of try to make it fit a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see if it actually kind of fully blends in, but it's a really cool looking building. It's something I've been trying to try out. So yeah, let's let me go get a bunch of materials, a bunch of different blocks. Before I started building, I felt the need to clean up a little bit, so I took down my beacon and I picked up the shulker boxes from the cliff, and then I went and grabbed some more shulker boxes that I left over, and I grabbed more chests, and I consolidated all these random like blocks and chests of stuff that I have sitting around, and I put it in one big chest monster. And this just consisted of a lot of just back and forth of flying to a chest, getting the materials, flying back, putting it in a new chest, which in the end actually turned out to be a really good thing, because when I was looking for all of these random blocks, I kind of had them already in chests and sorted a little bit. I knew where they all were. So when I was looking for just that 6 smooth stone, I knew which chest it is, and I could just grab it. I then went over to the lumber mill and I just kind of started crafting a bunch of the little items I need. I need a bunch of different wood items of different colors of different woods and stuff. And I actually ran out of oak because I used it for the hill, so I had to go chop some oak trees. And then I went into the nether really quickly. I had to just grab some blocks from there. And finally, I needed some sponges, so I actually flew around and I found an ocean monument. I ended up just like killing them, and it took me a while, but then I ended up finding the sponge treasure room, and I got a bunch of sponges, as this is like the only way to get them. I got all the materials. It's a bunch of just like random looking blocks. Like it's just a little bit amount of a lot of things, and it just fits in those 4 shulker boxes. But man, it was kind of a pain to grab all of those, wasn't it? Anyway, I suppose it's time to get building. One final but very dangerous piece. I really like this build. I love the way that it turned out. I am colorblind, but I really like colors. I've always liked bright colors, even as a child. And when I saw this photo by Snarple on Instagram, I was like, holy crap, I really want to make something like that. So I took the build palette that he used and I kind of just put it together with some different shapes to see like kind of what I could make. And this was a learning experience for me. This is like texturing the same way that I do over here, but with just different colors. You know, I've been started with the red tower over there and like maybe these brownish colors over here. And I'm starting to kind of, I guess, you know, get a little bit better, I think. I'm trying to like learn things and always improve on my builds. And I think this is a great step in the right direction. I really like the way that these like colors like blend together and they're like a gradient pattern. I don't think I could ever come up with something like this by myself, but I mean, this kind of really shows me like what is possible. And it's starting to make me think like this castle, like I feel like I could have done better, if that makes sense. I like the way that the castle came out, but I feel like it could be better after just practicing with all this texturing stuff. But a massive credit to Snarple. He's a way better builder than I am, obviously. And using that build as inspiration is like a big thing for me. I love that. Honestly, interior completely empty. I was thinking about putting like bees and doing a wax farm in here because I really need one, but I don't really like that, and it doesn't really connect with me. I'd rather not. Also, little respawn anchor up there. Looks a little scary, but I like it. It looks great. I think that's gonna do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode, and remember, until the next time, stay spicy, boys.